regarding firearms legislation request to designate Suffolk as a sanctuary city.
Good evening, Council. A law repugnant to the Constitution is void. Because I agree with these words by Chief Justice John Marshall, I propose a resolution in which Suffolk declares that it will not use its municipal resources to enforce unconstitutional gun laws which are forthcoming from Richmond, such as red flag laws, magazine capacity limits, and assault weapon bans. Now, I am not an AR-15 owner, but I am deeply concerned about our God-given rights. My proposal is rooted in three key arguments, which I will state in brief. Number one, proposed gun laws are illegal to enforce. The Constitution clearly states, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and our state constitution reflects this in Article 1, Section 13. Title 18 of U.S. Code Section 242 says, in part, whoever under color of any law willfully subjects any person in any state to the deprivation of rights protected by the Constitution shall be fined under this title or imprisoned. Federal law is clear that it is illegal to deprive a citizen of rights in the name of a proposed law. Even our state constitution, Article 1, Section 11 says, no person shall be deprived of his life, liberty, or property without due process of law. A law enforcement officer acting under the color of a red flag law may deprive a citizen of his or her property and right to keep and bear arms without due process, evidence of a crime, or even trial by jury. This would be in violation of all laws that are on the books and U.S. Code. Our city has strong legal standing to reject the forthcoming laws, and I will leave this legal analysis for you to collect at a later time. My second argument is that strict gun-related laws do not improve public safety. Last year, according to the data I was able to research, our city had less than 100 reported homicides. That same year, cities with the strictest gun-related laws in our country had even more homicides. New York City had 218 homicides, Los Angeles 281, Baltimore 309. Now let's account for population density to see a clearer picture here. Per 100,000 people, our city's murder rate was only 2.2. New York City's was 3.5. Los Angeles was 7, and Baltimore's was a whopping 51. Baltimore's strict gun-related laws have allowed a homicide rate 25 times greater than ours. Members of the council, Suffolk ought not to become another Baltimore. Career criminals will ignore any new gun laws and continue to murder others. This is why most high-profile mass shootings happen in gun-free zones. Disarming the innocent will not deter the guilty. Armed citizens are a deterrent for violent criminals. And finally, my third argument is that strict gun laws have unethical implications. Public safety is the responsibility of us all. A disarmed populace would be 100% dependent upon law enforcement officers for safety, which puts the law enforcement officer's life at risk more often. And remember, when seconds count, officers are often minutes away. If the state were to pass a law, for example, banning magazines that exceed 10 rounds, and a mother were to defend her home with a rifle that holds more than 10 rounds, under the new proposed laws, she too would be criminalized and hauled off to prison. Any law that punishes the innocent for protecting themselves from the guilty is untenable. Red flag laws, as they are commonly written in other states, would allow officers to confiscate weapons from law-abiding citizens deemed a threat by those around them, regardless of why this person is deemed a threat. Today, that may be because you expressed the wrong political view on social media. Tomorrow, it may be because of your skin color. Bear in mind that in southern states in this country, they once had laws called black codes that forbade ethnic minorities from possessing weapons. In short, gun control at its core is unconstitutional, illegal, and ineffective. I conclude with the words of the Lord Jesus Christ, where he said in Luke 11:21, when a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. Remember, David did not defeat Goliath with harsh words and a restraining order. Keeping peace and bearing arms is all of our responsibility, not the police officers alone. We must all do our part in public safety, whether law enforcement or not. For these reasons, I propose that we adopt this resolution. Thank you for your time, and God bless.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker. That concludes the speakers, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll move on to new business. Madam Clerk, do we have any additions to tonight's agenda?
We do have one addition to this agenda.